All right. Um, Namaste, everyone. We've all gathered today on behalf of ICCS Bhagyanagar chapter to have a walkthrough of this presentation on Elders of Pacific Ocean Islands, a case study of Fiji Island. Sri M. Rao Garu will be walking us through this presentation. But before we go there, I'll give a quick brief of ICCS as an organization, just so that everyone on the call and also others who watch this later on the internet, they get a fair sense of idea. So this organization that is hosting this is the Bhagyanagar chapter, but ICCS broadly is a organization that was established in 1997 in Nagpur, but expanded later with various chapters across the country and also in parts of the world. The goal of International Center for Cultural Studies, it is a forum for practitioners and scholars of ancient traditions and cultures of the world. When we say ancient traditions and cultures, these are essentially all these centuries old traditional continuities that are present across all parts of the world. So ICCS actively organizes events to interact and understand each other, explore similarities, network, and learn from one another. And ICCS engages in academic research and promotes revitalization of ancient traditions and cultures of the world. So the conversation we are going to have today is also of that nature, where we are trying to understand the culture and traditions of one part of the world, and that's the kind of engagement that ICCS indulges in, where we have these bridges built across various ancient traditions, and we try to learn from each other. In India, what we are doing in ICCS also is that there are a lot of academic activities that the ICCS as an org has indulged in the last 1 year. Particularly so, there are like a lot of memorandum of understandings, MOUs that have been established with a lot of universities. Essentially, these are tie-ups where there are offerings for seminars and offerings for courses. Specifically, there are courses like courses around revitalization of ancient traditions and the certificate courses, and there are courses on tribal and ancient traditions, so on. So broadly, this is the space in which ICCS operates in. For today, what we are going to do is, as I mentioned, we are going to have a very detailed discussion around the elders of Pacific Ocean Islands, a case study of Fiji Island. So I'll quickly introduce the speaker for today, and then we'll start with the presentation. So today we have with us Mallampalli Mallikarjun Rao Garu. He's experienced senior executive who has worked with the Commonwealth Education Media Center for Asia, both in India and abroad. And he's well experienced in organizing and administering program development for various intergovernmental organizations. Dr. M. Rao Garu, he has worked in Osmania University for over 30 years, of which 10 years he was on deputation to Educational Multimedia Research Center. He has a doctorate in ancient Indian culture, history, and archaeology with a thesis on Ramarajya across the world. He has established the Sri Ramarajya Sthapananyas to spearhead the movement to re-establish Ramarajyam worldwide. He has an MBA with specialization in HR and international finance and SAP Financials. And he has also worked as a management professional. Dr. M. Rao has both management and academic backgrounds. He's a versatile speaker in English, Hindi, Telugu, and he has working knowledge of Sanskrit, Spanish, and German. He's also a chairman of this organization called Sacrifice, SACRIFICE, Social and Cultural Research Institution for Intercontinental Exchange, based out of New Delhi. And here, Dr. M. Rao coordinates research in various countries across the world in the areas of yoga, Ramayana, Indian history and geography, historiography, archaeology, Indian culture, ancient civilizations world over, internal security, internal relations, contemporary national and international politics, distortions in Indian history, research methodology, Indian way of education, values and lifestyles, governance, management, administration, and also economics, media, and public policy. So clearly, we have a very knowledgeable and experienced speaker with us today. He also runs a Deshi Goshala at Hyderabad and is also a consultant for Deshi Goshalas across India. Dr. M. Rao presents Ramayana as a management, public administration, and military textbook, citing dozens of combat strategies that inspired the war heroes world over in winning battles since times immemorial. Even on today's call, I hope we'll also get to see some bit of Ramayana as well. With that, I'd give the control back to M. Rao Garu. Sir, please take over the screen and you can start with the presentation. Thank you. You can unmute yourself, sir. Sir, you should unmute yourself. I think you're still on mute, and even your video is off.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah,
Am I audible to you?
yeah, you're audible, but I think you're still on the presenter mode. Maybe you should switch to the viewer mode because we are able to see both the slides.
Slides. Yeah. Okay. In this way, shall I continue? Sir?
Yeah, we are still seeing two slides. Usually, we should see just one slide.
Slide.
Yeah, maybe this is okay.
Now is it okay? Still.
Yeah,
Namaste to all the viewers of ICCS today. I'm very happy that to have an interaction with all of you. And the title of um, Elders of Pacific Ocean Islands, a case study of Fiji Island. Reflections. Uh, Friends, I have immense pleasure in presenting this topic of Elders of Pacific Ocean Islands, a case study of Fiji Islands. In fact, in my life, 10 years back, there was an invitation from Fiji Island, Fiji government. Sadji, am I audible to you? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go
yeah, we
ahead.
can hear you. Please
Okay.
continue.
In 10 years back, exactly 2016, I got an invitation from Fiji Islands government that there was an Ramayana conference, international Ramayana conference, and I am supposed to present my views on Ramayana. So on that occasion, I had been to Fiji via Hong Kong and Fiji. 6 days I stayed in Fiji Island, and in fact, I am very lucky to have my host there. Uh, he had helped me a lot in understanding Fiji's culture, not only Fiji Islands culture, even the Pacific Ocean Islands culture. I had discussions with many of the officials as well as citizens of Fiji Islands. The Fiji Islands, in fact, it is an area of 570,000 square kilometers. One. Of the Central Pacific Ocean, and it is 12 to 22 degrees south, with the main island at 16 to 17 degrees south. So these are all the surrounding. It is surrounding Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and then Tonga, Samoa. Its main regional neighbors. Put together, it is a 300 to 500 islands, depending on how they are counted. A common figure being 330 islands. Fiji Islands itself occupies 330 islands. of which nearly 110 are inhabited. I had been to 3 islands to visit how their lifestyle and what is the culture they follow there and how they interact with other country people. So this was my, in fact, a pleasure trip in one way and academic and research trip in another way. So both I could manage in this interaction. Geologically, it is the complex of volcanic and sedimentary islands. All these are. There are high volcanic islands and various coral limestone islands also. I got an opportunity to go the sea bath also to see the coral islands because the local people they helped me a lot in this regard. Geological complexity of Fiji arises from its position on the continental side of the andesite line. Uh, the picture you can see here, ocean, Pacific Ocean is surrounded by Australia, Asia, and North America and South America and all this. Could you, viewers, please see this a diagrammatic way I made it. See, could you find any animal's face in this? The lines I have drawn. Hello? Interaction is there.
Yeah. It is there, Jay.
Okay. Okay. Then you could find this. Next slide. This entire Pacific Ocean region is, in fact, a lava-driven place. There are many islands which have the oceanic lava mountains, and even now it is a very dangerous area in many places in Pacific Ocean. So this back. No, back. Okay. This face cut, if you see, this is a horse face, horse head. It looks like. This is what is expressed and mentioned in Indian Puranas as Badaba, the horse which engulfs or which emits fire. This is in Puranas. There is many stories are there. I am not going to all the stories. Just we know this area in the Puranic period onwards. Even in Vedas period, Puranic period, about Pacific Ocean, our ancient people had seen from a aerial view. They had seen, and they measured this as a horse mukha, ashva mukha, like this. Badaba means in Sanskrit horse that emits fire. So there are fire mountains in this. That is why our people named it Pacific Ocean in ancient Indian geography. It is called Badaba, and this is surrounded by this. This is included by next. We can see Micronesia. We in India are in Asia. Next to Asia, Indonesia is there after Malacca Strait. And after Indonesia, Australia, and then Melanesia, Micronesia, Polynesia, and Austronesia. After this, if we cross the Pacific Island, then we reach America, western coasts of North and South America. Could you please find a common suffix in all these places? Micronesia, Melanesia, Polynesia, Austronesia, Australia, including India. All these is common suffix is there. That is ia. This common suffix is not placed by Europeans. This is all in Sanskrit. All these names are Sanskrit names. These are no European named Australia or Melanesia, Polynesia, Asia. And at the end, ia is there, including India. Because these are all Sanskrit words. Iya means the place where to stay. where we stay, that is called. For example, you are Sthaniya, Hyderabad Sthaniya, Delhi Sthaniya, Pune Sthaniya, Sthaniya, Iya, Sthana Iya, उस स्थान में रहने वाले, the place where you stay, that is called Iya. So this way, there are nearly 45 to 50 countries in the whole world, ending with Iya, Arabia, Mongolia, Georgia. Like this, there are many words, Malaysia. Uh, this way, the Pacific Ocean, entire Pacific Ocean, is known to Indians times immemorial, and we named all these places with and in one more special feature in this is that in all these places, in all these Pacific Ocean countries, we find a common name, Ba. Ba is another, many cities have their names suffixed with Ba. As I told you, in ancient Indians, they named this Badaba. Badaba is the Pacific Ocean's name. That is why Ba is a common word, common suffix, common title in many cities, in all these Micronesia, Polynesia, Melanesia, also in all these, at least the geographers mention that around 3 lakh islands are there in this Pacific Ocean. Out of 3 lakh islands, 3,000 islands at least, highly habitable islands, where even today the culture, Indian culture and kingship is controlled. They are called chiefs in the modern language. Even in Fiji Island, there are many chiefs in parliament, is consisting of Aborigine chiefs as well as Indo-Fijians also participate. Half of the population of Fiji is Indo-Fijians. That means those who migrated from India to Fiji. In the Ramayana conference, I had a privilege to present my view of Ramayana related to whole world. Here, I have to say a little thing. We have to go back to Ramayana before continuing Fiji's culture and Fiji, how the Fiji people, they represent, they are continuation of Ramayana period. Like we in India, we are continuation of Sri Rama's race. In the same way, Hanuman's as well as Vanara and Rakshasa races, they continued in all these Pacific Ocean islands as well as Caribbean islands, Atlantic islands, even after Atlantic, the American lands also. Total North and South America also. Many tribes, 150 tribes I located in North and South Americas who migrated from India. They are called Red Indians. In the same way, now coming to the point, the Ramayana period, we in India continue as a Rama's followers. In the same way, Rakshasas followers and Vanara's followers also continued to live in all these islands. In Kishkinda Kanda, Sugriva invites from all these lands, thousands and thousands of islands. Vanaras come to Kishkinda to fight the battleground in Lanka. So the same way, Ravana also invites thousands of places, from thousands of places, Rakshasas to fight with Rama in the battlefield. So this way, Rama afterwards, takes his coronation. But after coronation, it was nearly 40 years age of Rama when he has coronated. But after coronation, he became the emperor or Sarvabhauma of all the Rakshasa races, Vanara races, and Nara races also. He continued in his lifetime to visit all these nations, just like the present Prime Minister of India is touring to all over the world to participate in many national, international, and several groups of meetings, different international groups of meetings. The same way, Rama also had been to all these islands. But After Ramayana, in Lanka, there were 4 times. And then again, battles happened between Rakshasas themselves, because the reign of Vibhishana was not liked by them. Then many Vanaras, again on the leadership of Hanuman, they had been to Lanka. And several times the winners, the Vanaras, they stayed there only. They did not return to their native places. That is why afterwards, during those times, Rakshasa Vanara combination, there was a race evolved. So all these races we can find in all the Philippines, all the islands of Pacific islands. This background, the Europeans had no idea about all these things. That is why they named all the islands which were in Sanskrit, they named their English names, like New Britain, Solomon Islands, like all these. Whoever had been to that island, their name they named that island. But in fact, all these islands were already named by Indians in Sanskrit language. So when there I had been, my host is in Fiji, general manager of Bank of Baroda, Fiji. I am very grateful to him for giving me a vast knowledge about Fiji and their surrounding islands. I am in the Fiji national dress because the first day itself I had bought this national dress, and when I with this national Fiji dress, whenever I had been to Fijians, native Fijians houses and talked to them, they felt very happy. That is why generally in Fiji, very colorful dresses they wear, all hibiscus flowers. Anywhere you go into Fiji or in these islands, you will find these hibiscus flowers, red hibiscus flowers on their heads as well as on their dresses also. I had an opportunity, and really I am very thankful to the Fiji government. They allowed me to meet all the officers. That in any country, if we go, mainly at least two places are very important for cultural research or social research. First one is archives of that country, and second is museums of that country. Though first I visited the National Archives building, and there the director of the archives, the local women, the Melanesian, first migrants are Melanesians, second migrants are Polynesians, and third migrants are Fijians, Indo-Fijians. Now in Fiji, we find all the 3 kinds of people with their features exhibit that by seeing themselves, their faces or their body, we can find out are they Melanesians or Polynesians or Indo-Fijians. All the 3 races with different cultures they follow, but amalgamation of all these cultures, cordial relations are still existing there. So I am happy about Indian Fijians. I first come to Indian Fijians. That means for the last 200 years migrated to Fiji Islands because of English. Our colonial masters, they had taken from India, from several places, in thousands of numbers, our people were taken to Fiji to in the pretext that they are providing employment. But after taking to Fiji, they treated us as slaves and to work in sweet gunna fields. So we became indentured labor. These indentured laborers are called the movement. On agreement, we had been to there. British, they made an agreement with them that 5 years you work there and earn a lot of money. But after going there, it was not 5 years, 10 years, and then 15, 20 years. Ultimately, our people did not return to India and they all stayed there only. So this way, this is called agreement. Generally in Hindi, Girmitia movement. There are many books on this Girmitia movements. In the archives, I just photographed those days people who migrated, who were forcibly taken to Fiji Islands. I am really surprised to see there all Telugu names are there. This page, full page covers people from Ongole, Guntur, and Masalipatnam, and Chennai, Madras, from all these places, seaport places, people are taken to there. And I met some of the people, some of the Indian Fijians. Nowadays, they are all in very good positions. The education minister himself is a Telugu person, but they do not know Telugu. They do not know, they all know only one language, that is Hindi. Fijians, entire Fijian land, they all decided to speak only Hindi language from wherever they reached Fiji, but they all have taken a decision that they speak in Hindi language, so that common language for all Indo-Fijians. That means those who had migrated from India, they all speak Hindi. Not only they, even the other people also, they learned Hindi, and they also speak Hindi. Markets, wherever you go, you find only Hindi. Hindi is the prominent, not only prominent language, official language. English, Hindi, and the native people, what they speak is Aitoka language. I will show you that also. This is the conference is inaugurated by Indian High Commissioner there, and backside is the Education Minister, Mr. He's an Indian Telugu person actually. So I presented him a shawl. He was very happy, shawl from Tirupati. And then the right side person is Health Minister. She is a Muslim lady. She is a health minister there. And I met the University of Fiji. I had been, and there I met the University Vice Chancellor. We had a discussion about Fiji culture, Fiji present politics, and how the Fiji culture evolved to the present stage. Very cosmopolitan stage it has evolved. He had explained me in a 2 hours meeting. We had a very cordial 2 hours meeting. And then Fiji is an independent Pacific nation nowadays. And there are three main ethnic groups in Fijian population. The Aitoki is the language. Aitoki is the indigenous original settlers of Fiji. That means they are just they are black in their complexion, whereas Indians are brown in their complexion. By seeing the face, we can identify who is Indian, who is Aitoki people, and indigenous Rotumen people also are there. Rotumen are later Phoenicians or the Fijian Indian. There are three people. Fijian Indian population or descendants of laborers from East India, entire India, who began entering Fiji in 1879. They called their home, in fact, the Fiji is a, nowadays, the land is called Fiji, but originally its name given by our ancestors, Indian ancestors, in Sanskrit, VT is the original name of Fiji Islands, VT. But the Tongans, the surrounding island people, called it as, in place of VT, they called it Fiji. And thereafter, foreign pronunciation is Fiji. Fiji first promulgated by Captain Cook that these islands are now known as Fiji. After the explorers, other Europeans followed it with the same name, Fiji. And according to racial theory, this Fiji island contact history of the islands, features, and several distinct phases and ways of first migration is the Lapita era, they call it. This is from Fiji history I understood. Lapita era, these are the first inhabitants arrived from Southeast Asia, that is Indonesia, and also from India in the ancient period, bringing with them domestic pigs, food crops, and highly distinctive style of geometric pottery. They were expert navigators and settled mostly in coastal regions of Fiji. The Melanesian migration. These are a bit, Melanesians are black people. Beginning of the Common Era, a large influx of Melanesian people arrived, settling the islands, and intermarrying with the existing Austronesian populations. This is the present version. The same thing I said in Ramayana. Ramayana also, Rakshasa races. Rakshasa are also people. Vanaras are also normal men only. But the race is called Vanara, the race is called Rakshasa. We in our cinemas and other things, the knowledge is given. Rakshasa are different and Vanaras will have a tail, all these things. I will show you all this. I met several Vanaras here and I will show you their photographs also. So there was an even in the present day history, all the Fijians as well as worldwide geographers and historians, they also believe that the existing Austronesian populations, they intermarried with the local populations. The newcomers moved inland around and to establish agricultural settlement. These intermarriage, just like Anglo-Indians and in many continents, the Europeans, the local people, they intermarried and there came a new generations. They have both the symptoms of facial symptoms as well as body symptoms of both races. The same way, after Melanesian migration, there came Polynesian influence and invaders and traders from Tonga, Samoa, they arrived to Fiji, bringing Polynesian customs, languages, and social structures. Because the indigenous groups of the time had no written language. But we have to underline this. At that time, there was no written language. This is what the Europeans feel. Europeans understand. But there were languages. I had the proof of that language books with me. I will show you. And then the early timeline is reconstructed through archaeological discoveries, such as excavations of the Vaureva, like in India, Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. These are all the archaeological discoveries. Through the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa, the Britishers, the colonial masters, decided North India, South India, different Aryan, Dravidian, all these false theories they discovered and forced on us to believe all those. The same way, here or there also they did. Please listen this interview. See, the interview, we interviewed this person, Simeone Suvedredre, the principal cultural officer at the Ministry of Aitukia Affairs. He is not an Indian or any from other country. He is the local cultural officer who knows the local culture very well. His version is how the ancient Fijian history was written or guessed. So he says the foreigners, those who came to these islands, the Europeans, those who came to these islands, they heard something and whatever in their minds came, that they have written. But actual history, our ancient people are very, very intelligent people, and they the names of the persons, the names of the places, the names of the houses, all these names, they reflect the history of these islands, because in the names itself, our people, our ancient, our elders, they are very intelligent, and in the names itself, they coined the history of our places, our people, all this is. In fact, this is true in the Indian perspective also. Naming is a big science, which present day Indians also forgot. Naming. Through name, we can understand the person, the place, through the complete. That is why I said in the beginning that throughout the world, all the countries, all the oceans, all the mountains are named by Indians in those olden days. When we were explorers, Indians were explorers throughout the globe. On the globe, each and every place is in Sanskrit name. I can say it is another subject. You name any country, any continent, the names which we are now thinking that they are in English, it is false. It is wrong. They are all in Sanskrit language. For example, India itself is not an English word. It is a Sanskrit word of two words. It is not one word. Indo-Ia. Ia means where we stay. That same thing, ia suffix has come to Polynesia, Melanesia, Austronesia, in all these things. So this way, he also mentions the name itself. The name itself is a big recognition for what our elders think. So elders are very, very efficient in naming. No. So through names, and second place, one is I said archaeological records where it is available. That is one place wherever we go to any country, any foreign country, that country's history, or it is reflected, or it is stored in the archaeological directorates. The second is museums. Museums will give a lot of stories, a lot about the country's history, country's past, not only country's past, people's past, surrounding areas, past histories, and how the culture evolved in that country. That also the museums will reflect. In fact, I am very lucky to have to visit Fiji Museum. It reopened a new history point to me in Fiji. You will be surprised to see that what are the new points I found in Fiji Museum. Next. This is where a unique picture. These are the ancient Fijians, the first Fijians, the Aborigine Fijians, you may call it. Their dress, their in his hand club is there, gada. We call it in Sanskrit language or Telugu or Indian languages. The same thing. He is backside. If you see in the right side picture, the covering his entire body, a brown color, big cloth is there. This in Sanskrit is called Valabhya. Vala means poonch, otherwise toka. Or in Telugu language, it is called toka. In fact, funnily, the language, the people are Aitoka people. Aitoka. Toka in Telugu language, it is tail, monkey's tail. You will find the tail behind him. The big tail, very big tail behind him in a white. It's a cloth, in fact. The actual Vanaras also, they are not monkeys, as Europeans predicted, your monkey race, monkey people, all this. It's all wrong. The people with the big white tail-like thing, they leave it. It is useful in many ways when they live in forests. So back in our ancient Indian kings and other dynasties, you will find the backside covering a cloth, big cloth covering the entire body. That is called in Sanskrit Vallabhya. That Vallabhya is there in this man's backside, and Vala is also there under his garments, through his garments backside, and in his hand, just like Hanuman, he is holding a club in his hand, and backside Vallabhya is there. Hanuman is also wearing the same way, and Vala is also there. These people are called the Vanara people who settled after Ramayana war in these islands, and they managed the local people to marry, and through them they got both kinds of races. The next generations. Okay, next. And this is also one photo is the same Vala and Valabhya you can see. These are all called the aborigines of Fiji, not only Fiji, entire Pacific islands, many Pacific islands, you will find this kind of people. And myself, there in the olden rafts, olden ships that reached the Fiji island, they kept in Fiji museum. So this way, we whatever we have forgotten, the in fact the Ramayana story, it is an extended part of Ramayana in Fiji islands. I found. In fact, after Rama's coronation, many times the Vanaras and Naras, that means Indians with the Vanaras, they had been to all these islands to establish Ramarajya there. And in this process, many Vanaras settled there and married the local black people, that is Rakshasa people. So intermarriages evolved new generations, and new generations, they felt later on we forgot to go to all these islands. In fact, our ancient business people, they were going on ships, armada, through eastern coasts of India via Sri Lanka to Malacca Strait, crossing Malacca Strait, Indonesia and Philippines, through Indonesia, Australia. All these names are in Sanskrit only. Indonesia, Philippines is called Karpura Dvipa in ancient Indian geography. Karpura Dvipa. And then crossing to New Zealand, and then crossing to all these islands. Our people, because a voyager in the sea, what he needs is water. Water is the scarce, water and food. So our people, while going to American coast, western coast, the journey takes from India via Indonesia, Australia, and then crossing the Pacific, touching all these islands, almost all thousands of islands, 3,000 islands where people are living. From all these islands, our Indian voyagers or Indian tradesmen, Indian kings, they were establishing their kingdoms. Chalukya Empire, Chola Empire, up to China we established. How our people are going? Touching all these small islands and giving them knowledge and taking the food and water from those islands. They were traveling from throughout the globe in the oceans. So we are ocean farers. We are very we are explorers of entire world. Wherever we go, we were giving knowledge. At the same time, we were giving a culture, a sophisticated culture to them, and we are giving the names to them. At the same time, we are taking from them food and other things. And that is why in all these Samoa Island, Tonga Island, Tuvalu Island, Hawaii Island, if we go and search, you find all the traditions of kings in those islands. They are nowadays called chiefs. Earlier they were called king and their ministers, and Raja Purohita was there in all these islands. Rajas are there, and his ministers are there. Even now, all these are being continued. In some islands, of course, Islamization happened. Some islands they turned towards Islam, like Indonesia. Entire Indonesia is all the names Jakarta. All these are in Sanskrit. Whereas the country became Islam country, but they I mean they retained their culture, Indian culture. Their rupees carry Vinayaka, Ganesha, and their culture carries Mahabharata and Ramayana dance. Is their main festival is Ramayana festival. Ramayana dance is the main dance of Indonesia. So this way, not only Indonesia, in all these islands, Indian culture is still, it is flowing like a Ganga river. It is an eternal Ganga river. In all these, until Western America, even in Americas. America is also the name given by Indians only. Of course, I don't go to that. In another lecture in America, we will discuss about it. So, these thousands and thousands of names, beautiful names in Sanskrit we will find. All the Sanskrit names of these islands, it itself is a matter. On the land, the mainlands of Asia, Europe, America, Australia, these continents, we find nearly 400 countries names. Even in all the countries, names are in Sanskrit. The same way, in all these, we have to explore all these things. In fact, our Indian, you see this picture, in his hand, club is there. He looks like a Hanuman or Sugriva. This is their culture. And they have a culturally, they are in fact Indians. But they forgot this. Indians means not the present day just India. The ancient, it is Bharata Varsha. Bharata Varsha means it's a very big one. From Egypt to Indonesia, Australia touching. It is called Bharata Varsha. These people, they learned our culture at those days, and they still retain their culture. And this is one Kawa ceremony. This is a very big ceremony in every place in Fiji Island. Whoever comes to Fiji, they will give this Kawa. Kawa is known as a Yakona in Fijian. It's a traditional beverage made from the dried roots of a piper uh, plant, and ceremonial drink they prepare. This drink, it is a custom for all the Fijians that whoever comes to them, they generally give this drink. It is a bit sweet as well as pepper roots. They prepare it. Our from India, our Prime Minister, earlier Prime Minister. In Fiji, you will find this is our earlier Prime Minister in 1981. Indira Gandhi, first Prime Minister, visited the Fiji island, and she was also offered by the Fijian people the kava drink, and she was taking that to drink. And you will find this right side, a woman is sitting behind her. Some clothes are hanging. No, that clothes are really I surprised to see them. They are all called bark trees. In Ramayana, Rama, Sita, and Lakshmana, when they go to the Vanavasa, they leave their regular saris, pattu saris, and they wear these bark saris. Our rishis are people in jungle. They were wearing these bark saris. But in India nowadays, you will not get anywhere these bark saris. But in Fiji Island, preparing these bark saris, designing the bark saris. From bark only they will prepare all these things. There are many videographs of preparing, how they prepare. You can also see through Google or our videos. So the one video I will show you. Then this video. This is called masi. Masi is a cloth prepared in Fiji Islands, not only in Fiji Island, in several Pacific Ocean islands. Through the mulberry plant, its bark they remove and they process that bark and they prepare this like saris and dhotis and many big cloths also they prepare and they wear it in their festivals. They wear all these things. So whatever mentioned in Ramayana, bark saris, through bark, Nara saris, Nara in Sanskrit, Nara, in local language also, it is Nara. The saris are made with the bark. It is true in these islands. We can visually see all these bark saris and wearing, the people wearing these bark saris. And this is one. Just stop. So this way, in Fiji Museum, I found many artifacts that are almost all resemble Indian artifacts or ancient Indian artifacts. We were using all these kind of mud pots in our villages, almost all the same kind, but it is the garlands and other things. They are of a different nature, and the mat also. We also find in India this kind of mats in villages. Next. These are all the clubs and a raft. Those days, oceanic, how they were traveling, this kind of rafts, and some other shankha, the sea lines. These are all for display there in the museums. What kind of things are available in Fiji in ancient periods? These are all the garlands and the knives, and these are all the arrows and bows and arrows that those ancestors were using, and the mill and the kamandala and many other the garlands the ladies wear there, and this is kava function, ancient. Then all these there are two main important cities in Fiji Island. One is Nadi. It is not called Nadi. It is called Nandi. They pronounce it as Nandi, but spelling is Nadi, Nadi. This is when I first reached from Hong Kong to Fiji Islands. My international flight landed at Nandi Airport. Nandi is an international airport, only one airport in Fiji because it's a small island. From one end to other end, nearly 150 kilometers. I flew in local flight, small flight. The capital of Fiji Islands is Suva. In fact, it is Siva. One end is Nandi, one end is Siva. You see the correlation of these two. Nandi, we enter from Nandi and I reach Siva, where all these meetings happened. It's the capital city of Fiji Island. Nandi and Siva. I felt that I am entering into a Shiva temple. When we enter into Shiva temple, first we touch Nandi, and then we, after namaskar to Nandi, after touching the Nandi, we go to Shiva. The same way it happened to me. From Nandi, I had been to Shiva by local flight, and again while traveling throughout the island, 9 hours it takes throughout the surrounding island, only island, Fiji Island. By car it takes 9 hours. I traveled almost three-fourths of the Fiji Island while meeting the local people, local chiefs, and Indian Fijians also, and all the kinds of races I met. Took a lot of notes from them, and there are nearly 400 to 500 photographs with me, as well as several audio tape recordings also, giving knowing the Fiji culture, Fiji way of style of living, Fiji. And in Fiji, you will find surprised that there is no police anywhere in the Fiji, but all traffic goes in a very systematic way. All Fijians generally there are no motorcycles or scooters. All are only cars, and all of the present day. The international cities standard you will find in Fiji Island in Suva as well as in Nandi. From Nandi, Fiji is surrounded by great Pacific Ocean. Anywhere you see, it is blue, 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 blue and green colors, and sands, and also tranquil waters, and cool breeze, and clouds. Every day you will find clouds, and two suns, sun rising and sunset also you can see at a time in the Fiji Island. In the Fiji Island, surrounding 300 islands, every day tourists they go to several islands to enjoy. I also had been to some islands, and I was in the waters swimming there, because the tranquility of the ocean, you find no sound, nothing. But I really enjoyed there in the Fiji Island. The tradition custom is to have a hibiscus flower in our head. So this way I have also, and this is the Fijian dress. The shirt is from Fiji. There, all the people they wear the shirts with the hibiscus or some other flower printed on that. This way I was there in the Fiji coast, and these are the Fijian faces, the aborigines of Fiji, Melanesian people and Polynesian people, their mixed generations. Just for example, I am showing all these faces, and ultimately at the end of my Ramayana conference in 2010, there is a Ramakrishna mission branch is there. So they invited all of us. We had been there, and there the send-off ceremony was over. The minister for education was there. He is an Indian and Andhra person. He knows a little bit, 4 or 5 words. He never visited India. All these people, the Fijian Indians, they know about India. They still feel that India is their mother country, grandmother country, in fact, not mother country. Fiji is their mother country. They revere, they regard India and Indians. And the beauty of Fiji is that for the last 200 years, every day evening, 5 o'clock, all the shops will be closed, offices will be closed. You cannot go for shopping after 5 or 6. By last 6 o'clock, all the streets are closed. And around 6:30 to 7:30, 1 hour, all the Fijian Indians in every house, they gather together and they recite Tulsi Ramayana every day. That is the beauty of Fiji Islands. Because of that, there is no crime, zero crime in Fiji Islands. There is absolutely zero crime in Fiji, and there are no police required, no gunfights, no rowdy shooters. Nobody is there. Fiji is a very cool and calm country, serene atmosphere, and so 4 sides it is surrounded. All the sides, thousands, hundreds and thousands of kilometers distance only you find ocean water, ocean, blue color. That's all. Once you go there, you will definitely enjoy. This is Fiji. This is India. India, for Indo-Fijians, India is grandmother and Fiji is their motherland. And for others, India, even the others, the, the Aborigine Fijians also, they respect India because they are living with the Indians in a very harmonial. Of course, there was one period, 1987, General Rabuka, just he did some coup. But later on, I read his article. Why did he attempted that coup? Because the local people, they want more seats in parliament rather than Fijian Indians. So that is why they made a coup. Of course, it was all settled. Now, in a very harmonial atmosphere, all the Indians, they live, and Fiji is developing democratic country, developing country with the India and Fiji cordial relations going on. And recently, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also visited Fiji and had several agreements signed with Fiji. Fiji is famous for its sugar, high quality sugar and sugar products we find in Fiji. And Fiji Indians are very, very cordial. Not only Indians, Fijians entirely, they respect India very high. High respect is there, and they shower love and affection towards India. This way, we have to visit thousands of islands where Indian culture is still existing. We have no idea. Our Ministry of Culture, Ministry of External Affairs have to have a special programs to contact all these countries, to cooperate and coordinate with them to develop the India and those islands cultures. And this way, the soft power of India should be developed in all these islands. This is my wish. And for youngsters, I suggest that if any youngster wish to know all these things, all these languages, and in fact, I have collected a book, Fijian as a spoken language. This is the book, Fijian as a spoken language. In this Fiji language, Fiji grammar, Fiji vocabulary, and Fiji culture, about all these, this kind of books, wherever we go, we have to. This is 150 years back printed book in Fiji, in New Zealand or Australia, and one copy only. The Fijians gifted me, in fact, this book. I read this book several times. Still, I am practicing this book. So the Aitoka language, we can learn through this book. You can also Google it, Aitoka language, Aitoki language, so that you can understand the culture and other aspects of Fiji. Hi, Bula. Bula is the word that Fijians use whenever they meet or they leave. So, my dear friends, Bula, Namaste. This is the Fiji and Indian greetings. Bula and Namaste. Namaste to all of you. If any questions, I am ready to answer your questions. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prasadji.